Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Trashy Hair Caleb here. I'm personally just woke up from bed, as you can see from my perfectly made bed. Like, you could just see how much dedication I put into making my bed this morning. I just got up, and it's dang near 9 o'clock in the morning. If we were still in school, I would probably have missed first and second period by now. And usually I'm up early. Like, I would personally consider myself to be an early bird. But the thing is, right, like, how should I put this? Now that it's summertime, I don't need to worry about getting up early. I think the other day, I woke up at like 12 o'clock at noon, and like, and then I went to bed early. I like getting me my sleep time. Don't get me wrong. It's great, which is why I usually wake up early, because I go to bed at like 6 o'clock. That's how my schedule used to be. I really screwed up the sleep schedule, but it was still organized in a sense. But now that summertime's come, I've decided to just completely get rid of that. But anyway, enough about me ranting for a minute straight about something you guys don't care about at all. Now for me to talk about why you clicked on this video, which is the worst schoolgirls I've ever met. Now, considering that these girls are probably going to find a way to get me in trouble for making this video, just to cause at least... I can't talk. Just to cause as least harm as possible, I'm not going to mention their names or anything like that, because they're probably watching this video. I'm going to be honest, they hate me. They're probably going to find every little thing they can to say something negative about me. But yeah, so I'm not going to mention them, or I'm not going to say their names during the video. One, just because I don't want to get myself in trouble, but two, I don't want to get them in trouble, because as far as I'm aware, they do have a YouTube channel as well, with like 20 subscribers, which is another reason I don't want to shout them out. I don't want to give these girls attention, considering they are some of the worst people I've ever met. So, let me get right into the news, shall we? There's these two girls, and because I can't say their names out loud, I'm gonna call them the M sisters, because their last name starts with an M. And so at the beginning of the school year, I had no problem with them whatsoever. Like, they were perfectly fine. It was the beginning of this school year, by the way, so this is pretty recent. I had no real problem with them. They were pretty cool. They were nerdy, which is, I wouldn't consider myself to not be nerdy. Like, they're cool. I'm nerdy, so I thought they were cool at first. But something started to happen more often than not in my class, where they would just interrupt it. That's my parents outside. But anyway, so more often than not, I had to go talk with my parents, they would just continue to keep interrupting class over and over and over is what they would do. Mainly with first period, what they would do is they constantly would just interrupt the teacher talking and stuff like that. And, we would probably spend half the class with her just throwing out gags and no one liking it except for her friends that she had in the class. I say her instead of them, because it was more often than not, I keep saying that, more often than not, just one sibling, but it was the other sibling. The other sibling was relatively quiet, right? And so, it didn't bother me that much, but it was annoying how we couldn't, even get work done, because she would always just tell a joke and then laugh for, 20 seconds straight. And the teacher that we had, whose name is Mr. Creo, he's a very nice guy, so he wouldn't, he wouldn't tell him to stop or anything. He's probably the nicest teacher I've ever had. He's a very nice guy. He clearly likes his job. But you could tell he was annoyed by it, because they talked so much. But at the same time, there's nothing teachers love more than, geeky, nerdy girls. I guess boys not so much. But, girls like that, they like them, because they're able to get into class and stuff like that. I guess geeky girls, can get to class easier than any other type of student. So, yeah, so he didn't really tell him to stop anytime, but you could tell he got annoyed by it a lot. Him not being able to say anything without them just bothering class, which is absolutely mad. And so we started to really get annoyed after a certain event happened where I was in a conversation with my friends, and we were just talking, we were having a good time and stuff like that, right? And I think we just started talking about random things that are on our mind, random things that, 13-year-old teenagers in 7th and 8th grade talk about. We were talking about random questions about girls and stuff like that. And I think one question that was brought up was we made fun of our friend because he was a furry. And one of these girls came up and said, what are you guys talking about? And we were like, Nothing. We were just because he's a furry. And one of my friends, as stupid as he was, asked if she liked furry. How should I put this? Furry adult films. And the girl got obviously very angry because she was sensitive. She always claimed to have thick skin, but the way she stormed off and found the question uncomfortable, she clearly didn't have that thick skin. So she got really uncomfortable and stuff like that. And so a few days go by, and I get called out of my classroom, right? And it's my second and third period teacher named Mrs. Perkins. Very sweet lady. All the teachers I kind of had in 7th grade were really nice, and I really respect them a lot. And she's like, "Hey, Caleb, how you doing? So, I had to give you a warning." And I was like, "What? What did I do?" Because I would personally consider myself loud outside of class. But other than that, I never really do anything wrong. And she's like, "Well, there's been a few hints of you, how should I put this? Talking about not family-friendly stuff." And I'm like, wait, the only time I ever talk about stuff like that is when I'm with my friends. Are you telling me some girl listened in and decided to be a little snitch like that? Turns out, yes, it was one of the girls who decided to frame me for asking that question instead of the friend that actually said it to her. And I asked my friend later on, and he got no warning for it whatsoever. So I just got in trouble for no reason. I didn't do anything. Like I got in trouble for a question I didn't ask, and she said, I will never forget these words. She said, if we get another warning like that, we're going to have to report you for sexual harassment." And I'm like, "Are you gay?" Like, bro, come on, man. Like, are you kidding me? I'm really gonna get reported for that just because my friend, not even me, asked a stupid question. I didn't think it was fair at all, and I didn't know which sibling I told it to because they were twins. So for God's sake, I didn't know if it was one of them or if it was the other. Like, it was pretty hard for me to decipher. But afterwards, like, I looked at both of them with not as much respect anymore because it was a conversation they decided to butt into and a conversation they decided to get themselves into. And I didn't personally find that to be all that respectable. And I was very angry by it. I was very disappointed in her. I was disappointed in myself. I wish I had told my friend not to do that. But with that being said, I was more so disappointed in her because I didn't even say anything. And I got in trouble for it. So, as time goes on, she's still annoying in class. And I imagine she's still being a little snitch and telling on kids for doing absolutely nothing. Which happens to happen a lot. So, yeah, after a little while, a lot of kids start to get more and more annoyed with her. I don't know if it's because she's always interrupting class, or if it's because, she's just snitching on kids for the smallest little things. And, some kids, man, some kids would try to ask questions to the teacher, and she would answer it for them. Yeah, sorry, Buckaroo, I don't think we were asking you. Think so. And so I started stumbling onto these few kids who kind of went through the same experience as her. And I won't say their names because God, only God knows that these kids might be watching it, and they might get these kids in trouble now. So I think it's about time for me to talk about why I really don't like these girls. So the girls kept interrupting class, and a lot of kids started to get really annoyed with her. And it was specifically these two kids that I ended up becoming friends with, and we didn't become friends just because of our hatred of her. Nothing like that. Let me be clear. I don't hate this girl. I don't hate these girls, I guess, because they're twins, and I'm talking about the twins. I don't hate them. I don't hate anyone, really. There's some people I mildly dislike, this being one of them, but I don't personally hate anyone. And with that being said, I think it's a little too far when you're on the internet and someone's being trolled and you say, "I hate you." I always say that's a little bit too far. So when we became friends, we didn't just make fun of her just because we didn't like her or something like that. Or we didn't make fun of her at all, actually. Let me correct myself. We didn't become friends just because we disliked her. We became friends because, we had something in common and we all went to first period together. And this girl would keep interrupting over and over and over, and everything she said, whether it was interrupting or not, she said it loud. Like, she was just like a loud person. Like, I talk a lot, but when I need to, I can like tone down my voice. She gotta do that. That's what her voice sounds like. She gotta, like something like that. That's pretty much what her voice sounded like. And so, like, we all had the same thought about her, and we never said it. We never said anything negative about her. We never made fun of her for bullying her. We never did anything like that whatsoever. We literally just we thought she was annoying, which, you know, most people did. So I don't know why we got specifically outed out for it. You'll find out later what I mean by that. But so we kept just doing our thing, and whenever she would laugh really loud, or whenever she would interrupt class, because we all had the same exact mindset, we would look at each other and we kind of like giggled to ourselves because we thought it was funny. We could read each other's minds on what we thought about these girls interrupting class. We didn't laugh at the girls. We didn't laugh at the girls. We did not laugh at the girls. We laughed because we just thought it was funny. We could read each other's minds. We read exactly what we were thinking to ourselves, and we both thought it was we all thought it was comedic. You know, we never said anything negative about her. The only thing we probably ever said negative about her was she interrupted class a lot, which we didn't personally, you know, respect. And this girl had absolutely no self-awareness whatsoever, and she just kept over and over and over and over and over interrupting class. And so more often than not, we would just laugh every single time. After she would laugh, we would laugh. And I guess she might have took it as we were laughing at her, even though we weren't whatsoever. And so I get a call. This is like one of the last days of school, right? And we're watching, I think it's The Emperor's New Groove, because we were learning about Mesoamerica and stuff like that. This is a 7th grade. 8th grade going into regular America, which I'm really excited about. And for God's sake, bro, I get called out of class, and I'm like, hey, what seems to be a problem? And it's the Mr. Creo guy again, and he's really nice. I respect him so much. Mr. Creo was probably the favorite teacher I ever had, and he's like, hey, Caleb. He says it the exact same way Mrs. Perkins does. He says, I've been getting some, how should I put this, complaints about you bullying people. And at first I was like confused, and I was like, I only bully people on the internet. I don't bully people in real life, silly Billy. And then I hear, so some people have been saying you're degrading them. Some people said you're laughing at them. And when he said you're laughing at them, it like popped in my head. These girls, or one of their friends, I think I know which friend it was, because she's so unself-aware, and she has a really smart friend that I guarantee you wasn't even her herself. It was her friend. Told on me, saying that I was bullying her for simply like laughing, not even laughing at her, just laughing like at me and my friends. And we never interrupted class or anything like that with our laugh. We just kind of like giggled to ourselves quietly, and like it was just us having fun. We never made fun of her or anything like that. But I was told that I was bullying, and I don't know if her and Mrs. Perkins are related, but the way he said everything was so similar that either them two are related, or Ireland just has a way of saying things beautifully to the point where the teacher just has to repeat it. Because she said, say it again, it's gonna go on your record, like bullying and stuff like that. And by the way, at our school we have bullying fines. If you get caught for bullying, you have to pay $1,000. So let's just put this in perspective, right? Because she got into a conversation she didn't need to, because she kept interrupting class, I was suffering it. I almost had to pay $1,000, and I almost got reported for harassment over nothing. And I think the reason I now come to despise these girls, maybe I do hate them. I said I didn't hate people, maybe I do hate these girls, is that everyone else that I've ever been in that circle, like in this story, they never got warnings. It was just me. I've been the only one throughout this entire thing that's gotten warnings. And it is absolute BS that I don't know if these girls just hate me or something. Maybe it's because I'm white. That joke doesn't even make sense. They're whiter than I am. Maybe it's because I'm rich. Just kidding. But like they just don't, they don't like me. And I hope these girls see these videos, because if they do, I want you to know I don't like you. and we weren't making fun of you, but because of the things you've been saying about us, yeah, like we no longer respect you, we no longer like you at all. And I can definitely say without a doubt these are the worst girls I've probably ever gone to school with, because they have some of the thinnest skin in the world. If they were an eggshell, you could literally just poke the egg and it would crack and some gross yolk would come out. Like, these girls are just despicable, bro. Like, they almost got me completely removed from my school just because of the littlest things. And I imagine she's probably gotten one kid or so suspended from her school because she can't take any freaking joke whatsoever. Anyway, this has been the longest video I'll ever make, and now it's time for workout update. Woohoo! Much for those that don't get this part of the video, I made a video a couple days ago called Redemption, which is where I pretty much talked about how I want to redeem my physical body and stuff like that. And I want to talk, and I like, because I'm relatively overweight, and so I want to like give an update every single time I make a video. That is my dog banging on my door. Everybody, I'm sure you remember Gidget. Come here, Gidge. Hi. How are you? Alright, I'm making a video. Get the heck out. Or she does not leave my room. She just doesn't want to leave it. So, if she wants to be in the background, it's fine. Anyway, workout update. Yas, queen, slay it. So I haven't lost any actual weight, but, like, I'm getting a little more proud of myself, because I could definitely feel myself losing weight in a certain period of time. Maybe not 30 pounds, which is what I said I would do in the beginning of this whole journey, but I could definitely see myself losing weight, and as long as I lose a single pound by this, I'm happy, and as long as I gain some muscle, I'm happy. So pretty much, stomach-wise, there's not much difference. Like, everything still kind of looks the same. It's getting a little better, I guess. Like, I don't know, the cardio or something's changing. Like I said, I'm not really doing much of the incredible workouts anymore. I'm just kind of, like, jogging around my backyard and stuff like that. And it's working. So, yeah, any other updates I can get about working out and stuff like that, I'd be very grateful. And until then, thank you all for watching. This has been ENOsquad. Please like and subscribe. And until then, I'll see you next time.